life.
What the hell you mean? Like, hell no, I ain't doing no life. I'm going back to myself. It's a mistrial.
Hello, and welcome back to Theater Threads with your girl Vi, and this is the couch where all the movie watching happens. And I just so happen to have watched 1999's Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence film, Life. All cards on the table. The reason I am doing this review, this particular film's review, is because I watched this movie when it first came out in 1999, and I walked away not happy. I didn't care for the film. And there is a particular friend of mine who never lets me forget it. So I said, I am going to rewatch this film. You have to rewatch this film, friend, and we are going to review it. So that friend will be on later today. For now, I am going to give my movie review of it. Before I go any further, I want to give a quick thank you for all of you listening and watching. I really appreciate you. We're going to touch on the movie story. We have Martin Lawrence's character who is celebrating at a nightclub with his girlfriend. Then we have Eddie Murphy's character who is a businessman and he is trying to become a distributor of moonshine. So he comes into this club trying to basically steal from people, and Martin Lawrence is his first sap. Unbeknown to him, Martin Lawrence already got robbed prior to his interaction with them. So that's how they meet, and by circumstance, they go on the road together to get some moonshine, and a guy is killed. They're black men, and a black body was just found, and some YT people happened to stumble across this at the wrong time and accuse them of murder. They are wrongfully incarcerated, but it's their non-friendship friendship that this movie is focused on. But now, while we're in this jail, we meet all these characters. Now, the characters, I will say, there are some that stood out more than others. Bernie Mac, rest in peace. His character stood out to me the most because he leaned in heavy with creating Jangalang Jangalang.
Name Jangalang Jangalang.
He gave him like so much personality in his presence that you couldn't help but look forward to whatever it is he was going to do or say when he was on the screen. So one actor that I thought was surprising to see was Nick Cassavetes. He played the jail guard in the film. He actually directed the infamous film The Notebook, but he also directed John Q, starring Denzel Washington. Now, I knew Nick Cassavetes from this 80s film called The Ring. Now, that one day I am going to cover, it's 80s at its best. And I'm going to give you a heads up now, there's going to be a lot of 80s films that I will review, because there are some films that I think either went unnoticed, unwatched, unappreciated, and they need a comeback. I'm not gonna lie to you, watching this a second time, I did chuckle a few times, but I wouldn't want to watch this film again. I'm sorry. Here's a Snapple Fact that you guys probably don't know. Whole scene where Eddie Murphy is fighting Big Man.
Not over no cornbread, man.
Go, Mal. I know a bitch named Della hit harder than you.
You done insulted me, and I got to kick your ass right now. And afterwards, I don't want no hard feelings either.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
That was Della. And another reference in this film that pays homage to Harlem Nights.
Honey. That sounds like a sweet combination. Sweet as sugar.
Drop me off in Harlem. Yeah, good old Harlem. You have your fun under the Harlem sun. So drop me off in Harlem.
Drop me off in Harlem. Any place in Harlem. There's someone waiting there.
The singer who's on stage is Dawn from En Vogue. So I thought that was pretty cool because Harlem Nights is actually Eddie Murphy's first and only film that he not only directed but he wrote. So with all that being said, I want to introduce to you my friend, George the Barber, so he can give his review of the movie Life, and we can finally put it to bed.
How y'all doing? My name is George, owner of George's Barber Lounge.
We have not talked since I watched the film again for the second time. My opinion remains. There was one or two parts that did make me say, so that happened. But I wouldn't watch this film again.
I'm really dumbfounded. Like you have such a star-studded cast in this movie.
Yes.
And you still feel it is okay.
Okay, so it's mainly the story. Like it's not like the jokes didn't hit. And I will say that certain characters were better than others. For example, Bernie Mac's character, I already spoke about it, but I loved how he leaned in to Jangalang. And he, like, the way he kept his eye closed, his mannerisms, all of that, like, he created something and he wasn't himself. Whereas I felt like Eddie Murphy was Eddie Murphy. Martin Lawrence, sometimes I could feel him in character, like really becoming an actor. And then other times it's just Martin again. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Eddie Murphy, I can see you saying that because I did see Shrek and Eddie Murphy. Like I did hear it, even though his voice never really changed, but I did hear the voice and I was like, okay, there go Donkey from Shrek or whatever. If I remember correctly, I believe Bernie Mac improvised that whole thing with the Jangalang.
I also loved, and I didn't mention this before, was Bokeem Woodbine's character. Do you remember who that is? I know you're not good at name.
Can't Get Right.
Yes, Can't Get Right. Because he didn't speak, he was able to tap into the old school acting, and I think he did a great job.
Yeah, I really like this character. It's hard to portray. Well, it's hard for some people to portray emotions without speaking and just using your facial expressions. So I definitely appreciated him. I'm not gonna say it's a great thing since sliced bread, but it was.
Yo, you are old.
We are old, man. You can't have Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, them two alone in a movie and talking about the movie's okay. Maybe now, yes, because they tried too hard now. Was I dying with laughter throughout the whole movie? No. But they were definitely, if there were 10 scenes in that movie, I was dying laughing at 6 of them. Yeah.
Listen, give me that energy. You don't have all that energy that you normally have when we around each other, and you keep cutting my ass. Talk about you didn't like life. Now all of a sudden you all
that's a running lifetime joke. Like when the toe got stuck in the bottle. Like I don't understand how if you didn't laugh out loud for that. Like come on.
I wonder if that because the way they started laughing, it was almost like they broke character. I wonder if they just added that.
Oh, gee, damn! One of my toes in the bottle. Damn it, Ray. Yeah.
So when it comes to comedies, there are 13 types of comedies to which a film, television show, or play, whatever have you, can be categorized as. Mm-hmm. I already sent you the 13, and which one do you think this film can and should be categorized in?
So I chose 3, which I feel it falls under. The first one I would say situational comedy. That was horrible. Situational. I would say situational comedy because the year that it fell under, it was 1932.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
1932. So obviously, people of color were not high on the likable list, and money didn't come by them easy, and especially for Eddie and Martin's character, Claude and Ray, one's a hustler, and as Claude continued to point out, Ray is a square, just trying to go from A to B. I would say tragic comedy because obviously how things turned out, especially for Ray's character. For Ray, owing the gangsters money, getting robbed at the nightclub, to Claude even stealing his wallet, thinking he had money, and then just getting thrown into a bootlegging situation for somebody he just met 2 minutes ago. So his whole life changed within, I would say, 20 minutes. That led them to going on a road trip.
All right, and what's the third one?
The third one, self-deprecating humor, because they both have flaws. Obviously, Razor Square doesn't know anything about street life, I would say.
Well, we can just say that he was naive, and I think the scene that perfectly portrays him as naive was the pie thing, when he went into the white establishment looking for pie, and it was very apparent you were not welcome there, and he kept feeling like, I have money, I'm gonna pay for this pie, you're gonna give me this pie, and that was just stupid.
But even when he was in jail, like, he was just so out of place.
Get that off? Man, no, you better eat, stop aggravating people. I ain't aggravating nobody, okay? Nerves, scraping toes and shit, making excess noise.
Yo, make a lot of noise, make a lot of noise down there.
Souvenir scene. So I believe that regardless of how good, bad, or indifferent a film, show, whatever the case may be is, you can always take something from it. And I call that souvenir scene. Did you have one?
I have a few, but I want to hear yours first.
Okay. So my souvenir scene is when they are sitting at the table and we are first introduced to all of our characters in prison.
My name is Ray Gibson. This is Claude Banks. Willie Long.
Willie Long.
Willie, huh? Yeah, pretty sensible, man. What you up in here for? It's a long story.
He had killed a son bitch with a claw hammer when he was 13 years old.
So they say.
A lot of people say it, though.
Wait a second. You been in here since you were 13? All right. How about you, boy? How long you been in here? What you do?
Stop it, shot your sister in with ass. She was my half sister. So I cut her ass in half. At least I ain't the one who poisoned my own mom and pa. Now, tell that.
They deserve that, radio.
What you talking about, Biscuit? You the one skinned your landlady alive and made a jacket out of her.
Well, at least he didn't kill Santa Claus. Santa Claus? Which one you killed Santa Claus?
No, it wasn't Santa Claus. He just wearing the suit and ringing the bell.
Man,
he had presents.
I ain't getting nothing.
You killed one of them Salvation men and the dude to be out there on the street with the bell?
Something like that.
That's what he did.
I think that the jump cut along with the comedy, it all hits the mark. Like everybody is equally given a small window to leave an impression on the audience, and they deliver perfectly.
Yeah, I definitely like that scene also. I'm forgetting his name. The older guy with the slick back hair.
Yeah, the narrator.
So when he said what he supposedly did, and he's like, "Oh, that's what people say," and then Bernie Mac's like, "Yeah, a lot of people talking," like that made me out loud laugh.
And that was perfect execution too of giving us everybody's backstory in a way that it moves the story along.
Yeah.
So that's my souvenir scene. What's yours?
I kind of have a few.
Okay.
You know, because the movie is so great. One of my favorite scenes was the toe in the bottle. You could eat your cornbread. That's got to be the most famous line out of that movie.
Hey, girl, you gonna eat your cornbread?
Oh, trouble. Don't say nothing.
And Ray's Boom Boom Room.
Last night y'all should have come by, man. It was big fun, but y'all never guess who's gonna be there tonight.
Who gonna be there, Ray?
Who that there?
Who that, Ray? Just guess.
I got a man that's more than 8 foot tall, 4 foot shoulders, and that ain't all. He's a king size papa. He's my king size papa.
Sing, girl.
I take the door off the hinges when my baby comes to call.
That's right, fellas. Catch any cab heading uptown because all the drivers know about Ray's Boom Boom Room.
Hey, Ray,
where am I?
Oh, come on, Goldmouth. Somebody's got to watch the door.
Hey, Ray,
I can get used to this. Lead it.
Ray, this steak tastes like butter.
Made it just for you, Cookie.
You got some steak sauce?
Boy, get us some Worcestershire sauce. Clean off that damn table. I'll whip your ass.
The Ray Boom Boom Room is for the exact reason because it allowed them to escape the reality of being in jail. I like the fact that they kind of showed the actual Ray's Boom Room to let the viewers see what they were seeing in their mind. So I was glad they didn't just let him tell the story. I'm glad they showed visuals and everything like that because it made it better for me to enjoy it.
Now, I will say that I did have a runner-up souvenir scene, which was the montage when we get to see the progression of the world while they're in prison, seeing everyone disappear, which lets us know that they passed away. It was a beautiful montage. So I appreciated that. And I will say, because Wyclef was in charge of the score, it was so off-putting when they're at the Yankee game. And they play that song by City High. Like, that had nothing to do with the film, nothing to do with the situation, but that was pure advertising for that song because that was his group.
It was a little upbeat, just the
upbeat. You're talking about a woman who's stripping because she has to.
I know, but if you think about it, a lot of people didn't listen to the lyrics of the song. They heard the beat, like, oh, then they're like, wait, damn, maybe I shouldn't be dancing to this.
Last question: after watching this film, did it hold up from the first time you watched it?
I laughed just as hard as the first time. Like, I literally watched it as if I didn't watch it the first time. Absolutely.
All right, and that's all that matters then. You still had a good experience. Thank you for watching the film and for giving me your review. I appreciate you.
No problem. Anytime.
Well, thank you, everybody. Theater Threads, and until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.